Hello and welcome back to the Wrestling Group. I'm your host, as always, Ryan, and today we are going to be looking at AEW's September to Remember edition of Dynamite. So tonight, AEW is doing a 3-hour long special of Dynamite, and they've dubbed it September to Remember, obviously, as they continue doing the event in the old ECW arena. So tonight we have 8 confirmed matches, 8 matches on a normal, well, not normal, but you know what I mean, on an episode of Dynamite. So obviously it's extended by an hour, but we have 8 matches confirmed for tonight. So I thought, you know what, considering it's like a mini pay-per-view card, let's do a predictions. And of course, as always, feel free to let me know your predictions in the comments section below. Let me know who you think will win each match, and let me know how much are you looking forward to AEW All Out this coming weekend. So of course, we'll start with Máscara Dorada versus the Beast Mortos. This is a AEW Unified Championship Eliminator match. So the winner will advance to a 3-way match at All Out. You know, we had Kazuchika Okada defeat Michael Oku to obviously retain the title and go in the into the pay-per-view as champion. Then we had Kazuchika Okada. Then we had Konosuke Takeshita. He's won his match, and that's put him into the match at All Out as well. So we have 2 members of Don Callis family so far. And then we have either Máscara Dorada or the Beast Mortos. So for me, I'm going to say the Beast Mortos is going to go in. Tony Khan seems very high on Beast. You know, he's put on some absolute clinical matches over the last 2 years since signing with AEW. Do you know what? His style, I'd probably say, suits Okada and Takeshita as well. It's quite smash mouth style, isn't it? It's quite strong style. So I think Beast Mortos would be a great addition into that match. And obviously, eventually, it's going to lead to Okada versus Takeshita in a singles match. Hopefully at Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP Championship if Takeshita defeats Zack Sabre Jr. But for this weekend, it's going to be a triple threat match. Like I say, Okada versus Takeshita versus, for me, I'm going to say the Beast Mortos gets the victory against Máscara Dorada. Either way, I'm more than happy for either one of these to win, because I am a big fan of both guys. Then up next, we have qualifying matches for the AEW World Tag Team Championship ladder match at All Out. So it's a fatal 4-way ladder match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Obviously, we already know that the Tag Team Champions are going to be in it. So that's Brodido, obviously Brody King and Bandito. They're the AEW Tag Team Champions. They'll be defending the titles in a fatal 4-way in a ladder match at All Out. So we have 3 matches that happen tonight, with each of the winning tag teams going on to the pay-per-view. So we'll start and we'll look at the Don Callis family of Hechicero and Joshua Alexander versus Top Flight, which of course is Dante and Darius Martin. So for me, this is probably the harder one out of the 3, because I can't see Top Flight beating Josh and Hechicero. You know, the 2, very technical wrestlers, very good, very aggressive. And then you've got Top Flight, who obviously are the high-flying, fast-paced tag team. Very exciting, enjoyable to watch. And I would normally put Top Flight in, because I think Top Flight are the better team to go into the ladder match. Obviously being that fast-paced, high flyers, they can jump on and off ladders. You know, we've seen them in Ring of Honor competing like ladder matches and that before. Whereas the Don Callis family, like say, Hechicero and Josh Alexander, aren't exactly who you'd picture being in ladder matches, shall we say. But I just can't see how Hechicero and Josh Alexander would win unless there was some sort of distraction from someone somewhere, which would stop them picking up the victory. Obviously Josh Alexander's been picking up wins recently in tag matches, and Hechicero obviously has had a great run. which ended up with him getting a shot at Bandito's Ring of Honor World Championship. I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I'm gonna go with Don Callis family. I can't see. Like, Tough Light would be the team that I'd put in the match because, that'd suit them better. But unless, like say, and there doesn't seem to be any reason for an outside interference unless for some reason the ops or someone got involved. But I think Don Callis family pick up the victory there. So move on to one of the other ones, and we have Killswitch and Kip Sabian. Obviously, we've seen them tag team recently against the retaining Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. Obviously, they were on the losing end. Killswitch did seem to throw Kip Sabian around quite a bit. Obviously, it was supposed to be Nick Wayne was supposed to be in the match, but he got injured, and Killswitch has been the one that's returned and then stepped in. Against Jet Speed, obviously Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, they've had a great run as a tag team thus far. Although they haven't picked up the AEW tag team titles yet, I would expect them to at some point in the future. They are having a really good run. The fans seem to be really getting behind them as a tag team at the moment. So I would put Jet Speed picking up the victory, and again, Killswitch probably going after Kip after the match, considering Kip blamed Killswitch for losing the other match. So we move on next to the Young Bucks, one of the greatest, if not the greatest tag team in AEW's history, against the Bang Bang Gang members of Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson. Obviously, it's normally the Gunn Club that tag team together, but Colton is still injured, and obviously Jay White is yet to return as well. So the remaining two members, we have Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson. And they will be facing the Young Bucks, and I think it'd be daft to pick anything other than a Young Bucks victory here. I can't see AEW doing a tag team championship ladder match at a pay-per-view without having their best tag team involved. So I'm going to pick the Young Bucks to pick up the victory against the Bang Bang Gang. Then we move on to next, Riho versus Robin Renegade. Obviously, Riho is just recently returned. She's getting a match against Mercedes Moné at AEW All Out this weekend. And she is facing against Robin Renegade. So I expect it to be an easy victory for Riho. And maybe we'll see Mercedes after that match, whether she attacks Riho or she just comes out and puts the belt on her face. Something along them lines to build, obviously, towards the title match this weekend. And then we'll look at Bobby Lashley versus Toa Leone. Is that how you say it? I always get his name mixed up. Obviously from Ricochet's new faction, although they haven't actually come up with a trio's name yet, have they? It's the Gate of Agony is what they're called as a team, isn't it? And then obviously just with Ricochet, just keep saying Ricochet and the Gate of Agony, obviously versus to indicate that is going to be a 6-man match at AEW All Out. So last week we seen Shelton versus Ricochet, so this week we are going to see Bobby Lashley versus Toa Leone. With Bobby Lashley more than likely going to pick up the victory for me. It should be a decent match. I think we'll get to see quite a bit of Toa where we don't normally see him in singles matches, so it'd be quite cool to see him in a singles match. But I ultimately expect Bobby Lashley to pick up the victory here, although Toa does remind me of a young Umaga. And then up next we have Queen Aminata versus Tekla in a no-holds-barred match. These two have been putting on some great matches since Tekla's come into AEW. And of course, she gets a shot at Toni Storm's AEW Women's World Championship this weekend in a fatal four-way. Queen Aminata, I haven't seen her have a bad match. She's brilliant. That running knee strike she does is great. And the fact they've now made this no-holds-barred match is just going to be great. It'll be interesting to see whether any of the other women from the World Championship match get involved in this one. Or obviously Tekla has Julia Hart and Sky Blue as well from the Triangle Madness. So it'll be interesting to see if they get involved on her half or if we get just a one-on-one no holds barred match. But either way, I'm looking forward to this one probably more than most of the card. So up last, we have Roderick Strong versus Jon Moxley. Obviously, we had the match of the weekend where we had the Death Riders, Jon Moxley and Danny Garcia, and Garcia's first match after becoming a Death Rider, and they tag teamed against Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, which are called Paradigm, is it now? They changed the name not many times as a tag team, I forget. And obviously, Death Riders picked up the victory. And this has now led to Jon Moxley versus Roderick Strong in a singles match this week. Obviously, Jon Moxley is going into AEW All Out to face Darby Allin in a coffin match. So, therefore, I expect fully for Jon Moxley to pick up the victory as he looks to be strong going into the pay-per-view. Since losing the AEW World Championship and then, of course, the rematch afterwards, Mox has been turning up each and every week and picking up a victory each and every week. I expect this week to be no different. So there you have it. That is my full preview and predictions of AEW September to Remember version of Dynamite. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win each of the 8 matches, and how much are you looking forward to AEW All Out? As always, don't forget to give us a like, drop us a comment, and of course, subscribe to the Wrestling Group today.